Alright, howdy folks, and welcome to Gridiron Live. Today we are going to complete our last two games. We got Charlotte and Indiana. And we are still at 500. We won against Chicago, who was number 6. Then we lost a pretty tough game to Indiana, 42-67. But that was a little bit of an unexpected event. So we got Charlotte and then Indiana, and then we're going to see if we can make the playoffs. But before that, let's go ahead and roll the intro.
The right to bear arms is guaranteed in the Constitution, sir.
We're going to hold on to him by the nose, and we're going to kick him in the ass. We're going to kick the hell out of him all the time, and we're going to go through him like crap through a goose.
Roger Vick pounded his way for 11 yards and a touchdown after taking...
We're going to cut out their living guts and use them to grease the treads of our tanks. We're going to murder those lousy Hun bastards by the bushel.
All right. Let me just move my mouse over, and then we are good to go. So we're gonna face Charlotte and then Indiana. Now Charlotte is not a tough team. Charlotte is number 28. But Indiana was also near the bottom, and they beat the snot out of us. So we're gonna see if we can beat Charlotte, who's currently 3-9. Okay, so we're gonna go straight into the game, and it looks like Keon Clark is currently with a poor condition. I'm sure he'll straighten out during the game. If not, we will have to take him out. Hope everyone is having a good day.
Good everyone. Live from Toronto, it's NBA action on ESPN. I'm Brian Musburger, and with me in this deafening Coliseum is Stuart Scott. The Toronto Raptors take on the Charlotte Hornets. And now for the PA announcement.
So I was going to play NFL 2K3 today, but I thought, well, you know, this season's about to finish, so let me just finish it out, see where it goes, and then we'll go from there. So I do really like this game, so I'm definitely going to play a lot more seasons in the future. But I've been itching for a little bit more football, so next couple streams will probably be football.
The game is about to start.
Okay, so here's Charlotte and Toronto.
We are underway. Thomas.
We're gonna see we can beat this bottom of the league Charlotte team right now.
Clark. Artest steals the ball. Brown.
It doesn't start off very well with a steal.
Brown. Davis.
You know what I just thought about was I think I just want all those names in the way. Player with the ball. Motion, ball motion blur. Huh. I won't worry about that. So now we'll only get the player with the ball's name.
Mercer sends the ball into the paint.
Just so you don't have a screen full of names.
Brown gets his shot rejected. Denied.
Double block there. The reason why I had all the names for the offense was because
Shot clock violation.
I was trying to be able to visualize where all my players were. But now that I'm playing in coach mode, it doesn't matter so much anymore. Besides, I can usually tell who they are just from the model.
Lays it up.
Just the player model.
Moves up.
Okay, so we score first.
Shoots it. Yes, with the powerful putback.
I'll tell you, Brent, mad elevation on that one.
And he brings it up court. With the 22-footer. All net.
Good long range shot by Kenny Thomas.
Artest.
It was in your
A
face.
nice steal there by Howard Isley.
Pippen. Isley.
Howard Isley's turned out to be a pretty good player.
Muhammad. Brown. Mercer. With the 22-footer. And he puts it in gently. He came ready tonight. Thomas. Pippen. With the 22-footer. The shooter's touch.
Good shot there. I'm curious to see.
The Raptors lead by 2.
I'm really anxious to see
Mercer.
Indiana again. I wonder if the game's going to go just about the same. If it goes about the same, then that probably means that they just have a solid roster and they've kind of gotten unlucky throughout the season. Because I don't have a chump roster. I mean, I have Vince Carter, Keon Clark. I have some good players. And they totally demolished our team.
Can I get a witness from the congregation?
But at the same time, I also like to see that weaker teams
The Hornets down by 1.
are not pushovers most of the time.
Isley.
I think that keeps the game exciting, you know? Keeps it fresh, because so many times games, once you cross a certain threshold, it's just, you can't lose, basically. That's such a terrible feeling once you know, like, I always pick on NCAA 14 for this. NCAA 14 is one of those games, once you cross a certain threshold, you're basically unbeatable.
And he brings it up court. Carter. Clark.
And you have to, you know, use sliders, or you have to follow house rules. But the problem is that none of that's built into the game, and so
Isley
a game like NCAA 14,
finds his man in the lane. Crazy up.
it becomes really easy and boring really fast.
The Raptors.
Like after the third season in franchise mode or dynasty,
Man just took the ball right out of his hands. Too easy.
you know, there's pretty much no going downhill unless you make an error, basically.
Oh, what a power slam.
You know what, Brent? He came out of nowhere to rock that ball in.
Not much time.
That was an easy.
This game is definitely harder, especially if you're playing,
And he spins.
if you're controlling the players.
Into Pippen. Artest comes up with a steal.
It's harder because, I don't know, there's something about
Davis. Only a few
something about
seconds
the
left.
timing of the shot. It's like really meticulous.
Raptors lead by 5. Sends the ball into the paint. Knocks down the 15-footer.
See, if I were to shoot that, I could never make that.
Scored 6 points. And that's the end of the first quarter.
I guess one thing that I could try is only playing as a single player. But I don't feel like doing that right now. I kind of like just watching the game. How's Keon? So Keon Clark has normal condition now. Pippen, Carter, and Isley are all excellent. Kenny Thomas is good. We'll put Willis in there for a little bit. So now we have all of our players are better than normal condition. So we got one that's good and the rest are excellent. So that should hopefully make a difference.
The second quarter on the way. The Raptors in the lead by 7. Throws up a tough one. It's good, and he gets a shot.
No mercy on that one.
Mercer will go to the foul line.
So Ron Mercer's going to attempt, I think, 2 free throws here.
And it's good. In this season,
Or
his
just
free throw
one.
percentage is at 90%. Dribbling up court. Willis with the 10-footer. Brown.
Willis missing his
Down,
first
defensive
shot.
rebound. Brown sends it out to Davis. With the
Davis
18-footer.
shoots,
The rebound to Muhammad. With a
and
reverse
Muhammad picks it
slam.
back up and dunks it.
One more dunk like that, and they're going to have to change the rim.
Willis. Carter. Passes the ball. Denied.
So we're up by 2 points right now. Charlotte is threatening the tie. Oh, now they get the lead with that three-pointer.
This season, his three-point shots are 30%. Pippen. Carter. Willis. Yes!
Them kids representing.
Willis with the 2. Very nice.
The Hornets down by 1. Dribbling up the 4. Muhammad. Artest.
So if we don't stop him here, I think we'll probably have to trade this 1-point lead back and forth.
Sends the ball in. Swats it away.
You ain't got to go home, but you got
So we need to play some defense here.
Not much time left on
That's
the
good.
shot clock.
Kenny Thomas takes the ball, passes it to Howard Isley, to Scottie Pippen.
Oh, they gonna call 5
Scottie Pippen throws an interception.
Muhammad. Mercer. And throws it into the paint. Passes the ball into the paint. Score it.
Some impressive passing there by Charlotte.
Percentage is 45%.
Willis not doing a whole lot to stop it. That's concerning.
Timeout by Toronto.
Very, very concerning, actually. Patrick G. Mafia says, "Hey, Coach Grid, how's it going?" Just got 2 more games. Got Charlotte and then Indiana.
Nice job. They're not gonna let them beat them like that.
Already played Indiana once, which was the previous game, and they totally destroyed us. I mean, they mopped the floor with us. It was pretty bad.
Carter.
And I thought it was going to be a pretty easy game because they were near the bottom of the league. They were like 26th, and they just wiped us out. My day's going just fine. Doing some programming earlier,
Dribbling up court.
taking a break from it. I've been working on my simulation engine,
A minute
and I
a
think
half
I'm
remaining in the first
up to
half.
just about 1,000 lines of code, which is absurd.
Throws up a tough one. With a reverse dunk.
But
They better get some help.
I think it's about
He had a shooting percentage of 42%.
80 to 90% of the way done, to where I can actually take that simulation engine and put it in my football game and actually simulate the teams with actual stats and all that
He
stuff.
spins. Knocks the ball loose.
He is just swatting.
It's still going to take some time to actually translate it into the game. But as far as all the logic and everything, it's looking to be
Davis.
pretty good so far.
Under a minute to go.
But yeah, I've been working on that for about, I don't know,
Artest.
a month or 2.
Davis with the turnaround. It's good.
I didn't think it would take this long, but it's taken this long. But that's pretty much what I do every day right now is programming.
Down by 7. Can't figure out what happened.
Just working on my football RPG. I finished all the logos for the college teams and the professional teams. I'll probably still change them here and there, but I think they're pretty much good to use right now. So I would usually work on the logos at night. I'd turn on like a game, usually like a 90s to early 2000s game, and then I'd just sit there and make logos. So there's 150 college logos and then 32 professional. It's kind of cool to see them all together now. Stayed up a lot of nights working on those. And it could have actually taken a lot longer, but I used some assets along the way. So it's halftime. Charlotte is up 27-22, which is again a little bit surprising considering that they are near the bottom of the league. I don't know what it is about these basement teams that seem to be better than they are on paper. If I don't win this game, then there's no hope for the playoffs. As it is right now, if I were to win this game and the next one, it would take like 3 teams losing for me to squeak into the playoffs, I think. And I forget how many playoff teams there are in the NBA, if it's 8 or 16. I think it's 8, isn't it? I forget. Okay, so Thomas will switch out for Nesby. Pippen. We'll put Augment in there. There's Q Richardson. We'll take him out for Carter. And then we'll get Howard Isley back in there. All right. 8 but 2 conferences, so 16. Okay. Okay, so I don't know if he could get in with below 500 record. I mean, it's looking like our best case scenario is 7-7, which is exactly 500. Because judging how well Indiana played us last time, I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I feel like this game is really the only winnable one, so I'm feeling like best case scenario is going to be 7-7. And so it would take a few teams losing for us to get in, I think. But that was based off of the top 8 in the league, so I guess the top 16 we might be able to squeak in. I don't know. I haven't checked that far. 30 plus teams in the NBA. Yeah. So we're down 7 points here. And again, we give the ball to Charlotte.
Our test. With a big time block. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck up out of here with that shot. Clark. Isley. Augment. 2.5 minutes.
Come on, Nesby. There we go.
That was a serious down.
Nice little 2-point shot. Now we're down 5.
The Raptors down by 5.
Charlotte is threatening 7. Is that a block? Let's see.
Got an idea about the purpose of that play?
Both of these free throws are crucial.
Hopefully they can miss at least one. There's one.
Anybody know what he was shooting at?
If they miss just this one, then that's okay.
He makes the second.
That put his team up by 6.
The Hornets lead by 6. Carter. The Raptors need to be
And
more focused on their passes.
Carter passes it, but our guy had a foot out of bounds. And a lot of little mistakes
Campbell.
are gonna pile up in the end.
Davis with the 22-footer.
Yikes.
Switches the shot. So far, he has scored 6 points.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on right now with the Raptors.
Into Nesby. Marshall.
Nesby's trying to shoot it from underneath the basket. That doesn't work.
Pfizer.
We had a pretty good stretch in the middle of the season,
Marshall.
having a four game win streak,
He's stealing the ball.
and
Nesby.
now it's just
And he brings the house down.
dropping some games pretty hard.
Slam could have broken the basket.
Mercer. Davis.
Had to grab the groceries. What did you miss?
Campbell.
We're still down,
Gets it out to Davis.
so you didn't miss much.
Finds his man in the paint.
You missed a lot of Charlotte scoring, is what you missed.
The Hornets lead by 8. Clark.
I was just saying that we had a pretty good stretch in the middle of the season,
Save the women and children.
but for some reason now towards the end, we've been dropping some games pretty hard, like the Atlanta game,
Lead by 6.
the
And he brings it up court.
Indiana
Mercer.
game.
Spin. Lays it up.
2 very crucial losses it turned out to be.
So far, he has scored 11 points.
And it's crazy because we can beat Chicago,
Isley.
who was ranked number 6. We can beat Cleveland, who I think was number 1 at the time. So we can beat those top tier teams, but something about these basement teams just,
Pfizer.
I don't know if it's their strength of roster or
Pfizer.
if they've just been getting unlucky or what the deal is, but
That block perfectly.
they've been playing pretty solid,
Isley.
at least against me.
Ball into the paint.
Another missed shot.
Pfizer.
Need to make the playoffs. Gonna be close.
Campbell. He's showing us some
Yeah.
clumsy ball handling.
If we can win this game, I think we'll have
Shake and bake is what I'd call that move.
a better shot.
Can I get a witness from the congregation?
Okay, so we close the lead to 4.
Down by 4. So that's the end of the third.
We have 1 quarter
Game
left.
going on as we wait for the final quarter to begin.
Let's get Pippen back in there. Get Thomas in there. Howard Isley is at a 79. I don't know if I want anyone else to take his spot, though. Maybe Richardson can step in for a little bit, and then the computer will probably put Isley back in at the next timeout or something. Go Raps. We'll see.
Richardson, Thomas,
See if we don't get the ball stolen again.
Carter. Sends it out to
Richardson from
Richardson.
long range misses it.
Somebody's gotta shoot.
Again, there's no real need to take that risk.
And he slams it home.
You know what, Britt? One more dunk like that, they're gonna
That puts it back to 6. 4 was manageable, but 6, I don't know.
Richardson throws up a tough one.
There's Q's second miss.
Raptors down by 6. Davis
Maybe putting him in wasn't a good idea.
with the jam.
straight blowing stuff.
Dribbling up the floor. Richardson
Can we get someone better to shoot the shots?
will let it go. The rebound by
Man.
Marshall.
3 times to the goal and 3 times missed.
They're using a smart strategy on D. Clark
Here we go, Clark, with the layup.
straight to the bucket. The Raptors down by 6. Campbell, and he brings it up court. Marshall,
Get some defense here.
he got it.
Huh.
My man's got game.
Mercer, so far he has scored
The AI
15.
tends to just stand there when they're that close to the basket.
Uh-oh, should have seen my man coming.
So far in the game, he has 5 steals. Davis, Campbell,
So we're down 8 points right now.
Davis, Marshall, Campbell,
Get the ball here. Good defense. Shoots again.
rejected.
My man could not get
All right.
the shot off in time.
Brown comes in for Marshall. The Hornets lead by 8. 2 minutes remaining. In the final
Clark
quarter.
takes a shot and he makes it.
The Hornets
I would think Keon Clark is more of a dunker, but he seems to make those kind of mid-range two-point shots a lot.
dribbling up court.
So we get the ball back here.
Clark. Thomas
What can Thomas do?
gets the ball
To
out
Pippen.
Pippen. Carter.
Carter gets it and gets a nice dunk.
Hey, here comes the power slam.
He really took that one square.
I have to check the standings after this one. Oh yeah.
The
I
Hornets.
usually check the
lead by
standings
4.
between every game.
Campbell. Davis.
Now we're down 4. A minute and a half left. We still got a shot.
Sends it out to Brown. Campbell.
Good defense. And not there. We're back to 6.
The Hornets lead by 6. Thomas passes it into the. They will not be denied. Oh, what an effort! And now he has.
We've been losing a lot of possessions this game.
Campbell, Mercer shoots the jumper, and he
Man.
puts it in gently. The Hornets now have 48 points.
Let's see if they put Isley back in. Okay, so Howard Isley and Willis are back in.
Carter pops the jumper, missing from the outside.
Kenny Thomas makes the 2.
Can't be playing like this at home. You gotta get those shots.
Yeah.
And now we're down 6. We got like 50 seconds left. We got to move quick.
Now has 4 field goals. And he spins. Back out to Davis. And the shot from the outside is no good.
That was ours. Come on.
Lacking a little confidence on that one.
Muhammad. Brown.
Let's get a block here.
Swats it away.
That's his first block of the game.
There we go. Pippen grabs it right off the rim,
Hornets
basically.
lead by 6.
Thomas, come on.
Brown. Artest.
Thomas should have ran to the basket there.
Stoudemire knocks the ball loose.
That's his third block this evening.
We got 5 seconds. Got to score quick. Let's go, Carter. Shoot.
Isley
Isley, shoot.
gets his shot rejected.
Man, what a crappy way to finish.
And that's the game. The Hornets
No urgency, man.
48-42.
No urgency.
Raptors take a tough loss at home. Stewart,
Now, Brent, team chemistry is there.
48 to 42. So that's going to put us at
The whole team believes
6 and 7 now.
the Raptors, it just seems as
So
though
now
they're
our-
going through the motions of playing a game.
Our best hope for 7 to 7 is to beat the Indiana Pacers.
These guys have to go back to the drawing board and come up with a new game plan.
this is Brett Musburger along
Carter,
with Stuart
Pippen,
Scott saying
Thomas,
so
and
long
Clark
and
all
good night.
sharing 8 points.
You've been watching ESPN. The worldwide leader
Few
in
points
sports.
by Nesby, Willis, and
Log on to
Ogman.
ESPN.com. You're watching the NBA on ESPN.
We lose that one. It was close, but we made a lot of mistakes. Big moves are going to have to be made. I think so. Alright, now let's check the standings. So New York is at number 16 right now. But they do have the same record that we do. So if New York loses and Indiana is sitting at number 15, so if we can beat Indiana, that should put us at about 15 or 16. And then if Denver loses, we might be able to fit in there somewhere. It's gonna be very tight. We win, we're in. Yeah. See if there's any goodies. Nothing that I can use. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to go for it. Last game of the regular season at Indiana. So we're going to Indiana. For a rematch against the Pacers. And our condition seems to be pretty good. Howard Eisley in excellent condition. Hopefully that translates to some more production. So I was figuring out what game I wanted to play next. Like, I'm still going to play more seasons of this because I really like this game. But I was kind of debating between an NFL 2K 3, 4, or 5. I'm leaning to 5. Franchise coach mode. An NCAA 2K3 coach mode. Or I'm thinking about playing. I'm not really big into baseball, but I do like 989 sports. So I was thinking about maybe like an MLB 2003 or 4 or 5, something like that, on the PlayStation 1 in a general manager mode. So it's the same concept. You just watch them play, and then you make the trades and the free agents or whatever. Again, not big into baseball, but still would be fun to play, I think. So it's kind of between those few games as far as the next franchise mode that I want to start up. I do also have the NFL Game Day 2005 Cincinnati Bengals franchise mode that I just finished a few weeks ago. I finished the draft and then I just stopped. Well, there's that one too. A lot of good games to play. Need New York to lose too for good measures. Oh yeah. So we're gonna need some help. We're going to need some help from probably the 14, 15, and 16 spots in order to make the playoffs. Let's see if we can get some rematch. Get some revenge against these Pacers here.
Clark. With a big time block. Ostertag picks up the loose ball.
Once you get older, you enjoy being the GM for sure. Yeah, I think
With the 22-footer.
part of that is because, like, I've definitely played coach mode before.
Isley.
I haven't played entire like franchise modes, just in coach mode.
Denied.
But I was thinking about it, and
Passes it into Harrington.
the only way to get players to play true to their abilities in the game is for the computer to control them. Otherwise, their ratings don't really matter that much. It matters a little bit, but as soon as you take control of the player,
Carter.
I mean, you're the best player on the field or on the court,
Recovers the ball.
because there's no way the AI is smarter than you.
And the first bucket for
Ball kind of got stuck up there a little bit.
the Raptors.
So if the computer controls the players,
O'Neal. Harrington.
then you get to see the players behave as they're supposed to in the game, versus you doing things that are counter to the way they're built in the game.
Nothing but net.
And I like players to look and feel different. If every player plays like me because I'm controlling them,
Ostertag.
then I feel like that kind of takes me out of it a little bit.
Pacers now have 8 points.
Now I definitely still like playing, with the players,
Thomas recovers the ball.
but I'm really leaning towards coach mode in a lot of areas.
Pippen with the turnaround. Got it.
Oh, no, he didn't, y'all.
Nice shot there by, was it Scottie Pippen? I really, really, really wish that
By 2.
NFL Primetime 2002 played a little bit more like this and had this similar franchise mode features.
Gets the ball out to Van Horn. Sends it out
But
to Rose.
so sad that game does not live up to its name. NFL Primetime was such a great show.
Thomas.
Actually, when I was making my professional logos, my pro team logos, sometimes I'd watch like a 90s NFL game, but it was usually NFL Primetime.
And he spins. Under a minute to go. Ostertag.
But unfortunately, the video game NFL Primetime, it's almost unplayable.
Pacers lead by 4.
They do have coach mode.
Thomas.
Like they have actual built-in coach mode where you call the plays and just watch. But they don't have the broadcast camera.
Throws up a tough one. Knocks down the 10-footer.
And to me, broadcast, like I think sports games can be made or broken in
The Raptors down by 2.
basically sports games. I think
Harrington.
can benefit or suffer a lot from the camera angle.
Yes. The Pacers.
If I had to watch this game with like a really close-up camera view, I don't think I'd like it as much, just because I can't see all the action.
Coming into the paint with the layup.
And then the closer it is, the more imperfections you see, so it kind of takes you out of it. The same thing is true for NFL Primetime. They have the basic, north-south camera, and they don't have a good
He follows up nicely.
broadcast cam, unfortunately. So,
The Pacers lead by 4. Carter.
your skill takes over for sure. I've won a lot of championships playing a game, so I agree GM mode is more mental than physical.
First quarter.
Yeah, what's nice is when it's actually built into the game. Right now, I'm not technically playing coach mode, just because the only thing I'm doing is substituting and then making the, managing the roster. But if it were actually built into the game, you would be able to have more control. More features specific to coach mode. Let's get Isley out. Let him rest. We'll get Ogman in there. No, let's get Williams. Maybe Q. Let's get Q in there. Still waiting for Q Richardson to live up to that 68 overall. And Clark. Yeah, that's good.
We are ready for the second quarter.
Alrighty.
Up by 4.
So only down 4, and it's
Come on, it's time to get something going. Let's see what
the
they
second quarter. Alright, so there's Q Richardson
The Raptors.
with a long-range
By
two-pointer.
Harrington. Van Horn.
Big dunk by Van Horn.
just blow it up the rim.
The Pacers lead by 4.
So we're down 4.
Willis. And throws it into the paint. Knocks down the 8-footer.
Thomas with a little bit of a late shot, but he gets it in. A few lucky bounces, and we got our 2 points.
The Raptors down by 2. Van Horn. O'Neal. Harrington.
I know that the NFL 2K games, pretty much every 2K football game has always had coach mode.
Richardson.
I know for sure as far back as 2K2,
Ostertag.
but
Gets the defensive board.
I want to say 2K and 2K1 probably had coach mode as well.
O'Neal. Harrington.
And then if you want to get the broadcast camera in the 2K football games,
Van Horn.
all you have to do is, before the game starts, you put your controller to the middle
Clock running low.
so you don't select a team.
Out to Ostertag.
And then when the game starts, you move your controller over
In
to
the first half.
your team, and then you have the
Perimeter to
broadcast camera.
Harrington. Brings it in himself.
I don't know if that was an intentional feature, but
Ostertag.
it's
So
in
far, he
every
has
single
scored
2K football
6
game
points.
for some reason. So I have played that game coach mode before,
The Pacers.
but not a franchise mode. So it'd be cool to
Court. Rose.
play 2K5 in franchise mode
Harrington.
with coach mode. I mean,
Van Horn. Foster. Rose. Swipes the ball away. Recovers the ball. Van Horn. Foster. With a 12.
Foster shoots,
Offensive rebound.
but they still get the rebound.
Throws it to.
You have to pressure that guy more.
In the last season, he had a shooting percentage of
So we're
56%.
down 6, which is substantial, but
Passes it into Pfizer.
it was definitely worse last game.
It's gone over the backboard. Williams.
Carter tries to shoot it in from the wrong side.
Back in. The Pacers lead by 6. Harrington
Broadcast view is better for simming.
passes the ball into the paint.
Cool 2K coach mode, not bad.
Rose pulls down that offensive rebound.
Yeah, I like the
With
the
swipe,
broadcast camera
recovers the ball.
because
Coming in hard. Lays it up.
it's really the view that we're most familiar with football or sports in general,
Moving
but
up.
football in particular, just because
Willis. Carter gets the ball.
that's the
back.
view we see on
Isley
TV.
swats it away. Pfizer. O'Neal
Get to see more of the action.
moves up. Van Horn with the 3.
If the camera is behind in a football game, then
So far, he
it still
has
makes me
scored
feel like
7 points.
playing with the players.
Isley. Carter. riser. Fires it. Knocks down the 8-footer.
It's like watching a football game in Skycam the whole time, which is would probably be miserable.
That's out of bounds. Indiana takes possession.
For your game, what platform will you use? If you're talking about the game that I'm making, early on I thought about
Foster with the 18
also having it on mobile. Not making it a mobile game, but just making a game but putting it on mobile. But the more CPU intense the stuff I was making, the less probable that became. So now it's just going to be PC. So it'll just release on Steam, like pretty much every other indie game.
And it's the end of the first half. The Raptors 16, the Pacers 25.
Yeah, it'll be on Steam. So we're down 16-25. Yeah, there's a lot of cool features that I think I really want to attack. I want to attack this game from a totally different angle. Not only is it going to be a classic football game, meaning that it's going to have the look and feel of the 80s and 90s, but I also want it to be very immersive. And basically for the whole thing to be a nostalgia dose. So I want there to be like fake commercials or like fictional commercials for products, and the commercials look like commercials from the 80s and 90s. Different things like that I think would be really unique. But it's going to lean really heavily on RPG elements. So things like personality, moral alignment, we'll check that out. Yeah, I don't know exactly when it's going to be in a playable state. Right now it's mostly been just building systems, like building the schedule generator, building the simulation engine. What I have right now, all you can do is you start up a game, you make your coach, and then you start a season. It assigns you a random high school to coach for, and then you basically can see your schedule, and then it just sims the game one at a time, and then it'll generate new players for you. You can set the training, like the off-season training, so you just kind of pick what focus you want for each player, and then the computer will generate a training result based on their experience on the field, and then it generates a new schedule and you start a new season. Right now, the last thing I was working on before the simulation engine was the coach contracts. So the coaches that get hired and fired, the coaches that get raises, or the coordinators that become head coaches. It's a lot of logic. So there's not a lot to look at right now in the game. It's just all behind the scenes logic that's being calculated, or run might be a better word. But we need all that back end stuff to be functioning before I can really put a lot of time into the visuals. And the visuals, I think I think visually, like on the field, it'll look like it'll probably look something like Joe Montana football on the Genesis with the side view. So it'll probably look like that visually. It'll obviously be higher definition, but I really like the way that game looks in 2D. And then the UI menus, I really like the ESPN, like from the mid 90s, but I can't obviously make it exactly like it, but something like that would be cool. I'm also thinking about having different UI for each level of football. So if you're in high school football, the UI kind of looks like a local news station TV graphics. If it's in college football, I really like this sort of ESPN on ABC kind of look. And then for pro football, maybe sort of like a Fox Sports kind of look. I could also just make it random to where there's like different TV stations, and so you get a different UI look, at least during the on-field games, depending on the TV station or depending on the sports network. Basically, I want it to be very heavily leaning on sort of classic football era, which is the 80s and 90s for me at least. Very heavy on nostalgia and immersion and RPG elements. And I want the game to be very hard. I want the game to be easy to win a few games, but hard to win a lot of games. I'm a part of
I'll tell you, Brent, that is straight up right there.
Tonight his field goal percentage is
sounds like an in-depth sim game. I'm currently playing a football sim at the moment myself. That's cool. You grew up playing Joe Montana football. I didn't grow up playing Joe Montana, but I played it later on, and I like the way the game looks.
Thomas comes in for Pfizer.
But what I was saying about the game's difficulty is that I always pick on NCAA 14 because I'm a part of this Facebook group that, for all I do is I watch the posts that people put on there, and it's like 20 undefeated seasons, 20 national championships in a row, people creating their own prospects, and the prospects have all 99 skill levels, and I mean, do whatever you want for fun, but that to me would get boring very quick. And so I want the game to be very challenging. Like I said, easy to win a couple games, but very hard to win a lot of games. So instead of, like, I'm just imagining some future time where my game's already out and there's Facebook groups about it, and there's people posting their season results. I want like 8 to 9 to 10 win seasons to be an event. Like, I want that to be an achievement, not the norm, because it's kind of the norm right now, or for NCAA at least. Winning, it's hard not to win all your games, basically. So whenever somebody actually wins like any kind of championship, especially a national championship, I want that to be rare. And I want it to be, something that you can look back on and try to figure out, how did I win this? How, maybe I can do something like I did then to try to win another championship. I don't want it to be easy. Because easy for me gets boring. And, creating 99 overall prospects is boring. I never understood that.
The Raptors down by 9.
Some people like it, but
Rose.
it's definitely not me.
Ostertag.
And I know that there's more people that want difficulty and challenge than the people that want to just cheese the game.
Perimeter to Rose. All net. Yeah.
And because my game isn't going to be based on live simulation on the field,
Brings it to the attack.
like there's still going to be on-field animation,
Carter.
but as far as
Isley.
like actually simulating everything live, kind of like this game is doing right now,
Carter.
it's not going to do that.
Passes the ball into the paint.
All it's going to do is going to choreograph a simulated result,
Lead by
basically.
10.
That's what it's going to do.
Harrington.
So if
Ostertag.
on the next play,
With the spin.
it says,
Harrington.
quarterback survived the pass rush,
Has been called.
he elects to pass the ball, passes the ball to receiver X.
Thomas.
Receiver X
Throws up a tough one.
breaks 2 tackles and gets, 7 yards.
O'Neal. Ostertag.
So that'll be the generated result,
That was an
and then the engine is going to take that
scored 10.
and it's going to draw a play according to that result. Of course, you don't see it until it draws it, so it's a bit of a
Harrington
visual illusion,
shoots it over the block.
but it's still taking all your player ratings into account and everything.
It's the end of the third quarter.
And you're not going to be able to cheese it. It's all going to be about strategy and roster management. And RPG elements. Highlight plays. Well, the cool thing about that is that, I was thinking about, how did Visual Concepts get it to where they could have those halftime shows? The halftime shows, or I'm talking about the Sports Center segment during the franchise mode. If you've played 2K5, every week there's a Sports Center segment, and so they show highlights from all the games in the league. And I was thinking, how did they do that? Because I know they didn't. Those aren't like recordings of the games, because the games were never played; they were just simulated. So I was thinking, well, maybe they generated a result and then just had the engine animate the result, or animate a result that's consistent with what happened in the simulation. And so essentially they generate the play right before they show you the highlight. And of course you never see that, and you don't have to. So I think that's one way that can be done. And honestly, it seems so simple and straightforward. It makes you wonder why, like, EA hasn't had, highlight segments like that. I mean, we all know why EA doesn't do that, because they have no competition, but I definitely want to have, I want to have not just a Sports Center type segment. I want to have like an entire NFL primetime type show to where there's 2 personalities and the computer generates a little segment for you to where the stuff that they talk about isn't just predetermined, or it's not just like the same stuff over and over, but to where it's actually generated in some fashion and then it's played for you. I think that would be really cool, to where every week you get a different show, and it's, you know, it's using the same resources to generate the show, but it has enough resources to where it can generate, you know, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of different kinds of, you know, TV segments or sports center segments, basically. And so you have the, you know, your two personalities, and they kind of have the stuff that they like to talk about. It doesn't have to be like super long, but just having them talk and then show highlights and then you have a little conversation, I think would be incredible. And so it's not just a football game, it's like an entire football world that draws you in. It's like a fictional world, basically. It's like a football fantasy, basically. Okay, I need to make a switch here. Not Willis. Clark should go in. Yeah, how did they sync the scores for the announcers? Or mention player names rather than stats. Programming is a bit of an art. Well, the way I imagine that they did the Sports Center type segments was, I think, if I had to guess, or if I had to build it myself, you would create certain conditions that were tied to certain sound files, basically.
He misses his first shot.
What's that junk my man just put up?
So if the screen is currently showing a game between, if we're talking NFL, between the Eagles and the Patriots,
Pippen. Isley.
the engine or the game would know, okay,
Harrington.
I need to take
Rose.
Chris Berman's sound files and make him say the one where he says the Eagles and then the one where he says the Patriots,
Clark.
and then maybe a little bit of a color commentary piece out of.
Isley.
It's basically like fill in the blanks, is essentially what it is. So your program basically has these blanks. So you have two blanks for the team names, you have a blank for a little bit of color commentary, then you have
Raptors. Down by 9.
maybe there is, you want to show a play that's like a 50-yard touchdown, and so you have to draw
Sends the ball
from
rejected.
your sound files that talk about a big, huge play. And so it's just fill in the blank. And the more comprehensive and more complex your fill in the blank engine is, the more different and dynamic it can be.
Clark.
So that's kind of one hurdle that I have to overcome is,
And throws it into the paint. Oh, save the
I'm obviously not a voice actor, and I thought about maybe I can voice act and record myself for the TV personalities.
The Pacers.
I could pay someone, but that would get expensive after a while.
O'Neal.
So if I can't do it and manipulate my voice to sound like different people,
Straight to the bucket. So far he has scored 14.
if I can't do that, then I thought about
Pippen.
text to speech.
Thomas. Carter with the off-balance shot.
That wouldn't be ideal.
The Pacers.
It wouldn't sound as bad as, or it wouldn't sound as robotic as like
Carter gobbles up the
the
rebound.
Joe Montana
Dribbling up the
commentary.
floor. Isley. Thomas.
Although if it did, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Carter.
But some of the text to speech engines nowadays are
Isley.
pretty decent. The problem there is that you don't get like the voice character of someone like Chris Berman or Tom Jackson or Lee Corso or all these different TV personalities. But ultimately, the style of the voice, although it would be really cool to have really dynamic voice inflections and stuff, I think having a system to where it could just generate the appropriate words in the first place would be incredible. Are you going to make them pay $2.49 maybe to continue the game after a few games? It's going to be the old-fashioned, you know, one price, you get the game. Pay once, play the whole game. Now, that's what we're all used to, and I think that's a good monetization scheme. I definitely don't want to do annual release. I want to have one game title, and then release updates for it. And so those updates are going to cost money. If they're not like quality of life, like there's a huge bug in the game, the annual updates I think you can charge for. But if they're like fixes that are like crucial, then you shouldn't charge for those, I don't think. But the people who downloaded it, make an option for them to pay for better players, for people who don't want to grind it out. Well, if Pacers win that one, not as bad as the other game, but still lost. Yeah, I don't want to do any kind of in-game purchases or anything. All the in-game purchases are going to be part of the actual game. So there's going to be money that your coach has, and the way you kind of upgrade your coach is with the money. So that's why that's where you would that's where negotiating money with your contract is going to be important, because you need the money to get better and to do some other stuff that I'll end up adding. But I don't want to have real money in-game purchases. I just think it divides the player base. You have players that are just trying to pay their way through, and then you have players that are actually trying to play the game. I don't like that. You know, there was nothing wrong with just good old-fashioned football games where you'd go to the store and buy it, and then you would play the game, and that would be it. And you either like it or you don't. I don't like pleasing people to the point to where you lose the design of your game. Not a lot of points scored by a player this game. Just speaking logistics. Blockbuster style. Like rentals. Okay. Where are we? We fall to number 20. New York is still at number 16. Indiana now at number 12 at 7-6. So New York, I think I ended up winning there. So we end the regular season at 6-8, and we finish at number 20. But at least we're not Houston. I meant a one-time buy. Yeah, just, I mean, regular purchase, just like any other product. But there's a lot I want to do with that game. I do have to be careful though, because I don't want to spend years and years and it never comes out. I want to make it to where I get something that approximates what I'm trying to do. Release it in a stable, playable state, and then build updates for it. That way, you can build a player base along the way instead of waiting, 7 years or something. So, and the game really isn't going to be that complex. It's just really deep. So we don't finish at 500, but we do a lot better than last season. Okay. So Eddie Jones was the MVP. Somehow Danny Pfizer was a Rookie of the Year with 4 points per game, I guess. Most Improved Player. Even stuff like this, I think is really immersive. It's not as cool as a Sports Center segment, but it's something. Draco, yep. Tyrone Nesby gets 6th Man Award. So we got 2 players getting awards. And let's see, NBA awards for all NBA teams: Shaquille O'Neal, Kenyon Martin, Dirk Nowitzki, Eddie Jones, and Terrell Brandon. Looks like Danny Pfizer, aka Draco, made the all-rookie team. That would make sense. He got Rookie of the Year. And he's flanked by some guys from Houston, Detroit, Portland, and San Antonio. I know for sure we didn't get any all defense players. All right. So Miami loses to New Jersey. Detroit beats Cleveland. Orlando beats Chicago. Milwaukee beats Indiana. And then Orlando loses to Milwaukee. New Jersey beats Detroit. And then New Jersey beats Milwaukee. Looks like the Suns didn't do very well. They lost 3-1. So the NBA Finals were the Lakers, big surprise, and New Jersey. The Lakers almost sweep New Jersey, but they win 4-1. So I think that's their second championship in a row. Team is heading in the right direction in the offseason, going to get a top 12 pick. Could be good for next season. I think we're going to do the draft here. Bryant with the MVP. All right. So, how do we? Okay. Definitely want to re-sign Scottie Pippen. See if we can lock him up for 2 years. My bad for the lack of a period. It's whatever. Okay. We got Scottie Pippen back for 2 years. Here's Gugliotta. He's a 68 overall now. I think we had another player. Clark's a 77 now. Kenny Thomas a 72. Kenny Ogman improves to a 67 from a 65. Vince Carter now a 94, so he goes up 4 points. 2 years for Scotty, yep. Howard Isley, he might have gone down a point. Q is still at a 69. Jerome at a 69. Danny Fives are up to a 68, only in his second year. Tyrone Nesby, 72. Jeff Williams, 65. Don't remember this guy. Samaki Walker. You think we trade Vince for 2 or 3 good players? I don't know. It's tough to get a 94 overall. I mean, I do understand that he's kind of locked up in one position. But I don't think I want to let go of Carter. I mean, I guess the attraction is that you could give up 194 and get like 285s, maybe. .380 is better than 190, at least in this game. Just a thought. That could be true. Okay. So Nesby is actually a higher rated than Scottie Pippen right now. He's also younger. Scottie Pippen has really good matchup and quickness. Or 280s. I think 380s would be stretching it. Some teams might not even have 380 rated players. But yeah, Pippen, I guess we could put Nesby in place of Pippen just starting off. I mean, Pippen's still good, really good off the bench. Yeah, it's good to have good players come off the bench too, not just players that are all lower rated. It's good to have quality reserves. I think that'll be the starting lineup for now. Could trade like a Samaki Walker and a Jeff Williams. Maybe get 170 for them. Look at free agency. Yeah, I did. Might have missed some players though. I think having a good center, because we have Keon Clark, but don't have a really good center to replace him. And Willis is good enough, but nice to have someone else. Gasol isn't bad. Kind of like this morning guy. It's good rebound, good matchup, good blocking. Stealing, not so much. Good strength. Definitely a dunker. Also streaky. Let's see. Oh, that's because Miami doesn't have any players. There's Mutombo. 13 years. Good strength, good matchup, good rebound, good blocking. Intimidator and body control. $13 though. I will say yes or no. My message is coming late. And Alonzo is good. Mutombo is kind of old though. But he would be a good player. Might be able to try him. See what happens. Old school, yeah. And they reject the trade. Let's not get caught up in trading just yet, because there'll still be a lot of players after the draft. So we get the 7th pick. Any goodies here? Nope. Okay. So here's a draft. Oh, that center got taken. At a 77, that would have been really nice. That's already what Clark is. Oh, Malik Jones, 78. He went to Houston. Van Exel. Dana Van Exel, what a name. Goes to Boston. Philadelphia takes Lamar Ewing. Charlotte takes Stacey Curry. Of course, they take all the good players. Guess we can look at this guy. Nothing really that stands out. His body control. Griffin is going to be a star. Might have to trade for him after the draft. Maybe so. As far as centers, though, I'm not looking for anything below a 65. I can get that in the free agency. And I already have Draco here, who can play center if he has to. And he's a 68. But that kind of leaves nobody. I mean, man, it would have been nice to get one of these guys. We weren't lucky enough to do as poorly to get a high of a draft pick. But then again, I don't know if that works the same as it does in the NFL, where the worst team gets the top pick. Use this pick and more if need be. Lewis, the center. I think he is better than Willis, who apparently isn't even on the team anymore. I guess we do need a center. Guess we'll have to take Lewis. For these lower rated players, the only good thing to look out for is if they have any special abilities. That's really it. If they don't have that, then they're really not worth much. It's got good endurance. Second rated center in the class. I think not bad and seemed like a top 3 pick on the board. Lewis. Yeah, we got Lewis. Wasn't a whole lot in that class, unfortunately. Bimbo Swift. Bimbo's gonna go bye-bye. Okay. Okay, so here's someone. We got Eddie Curry. He's straight out of high school too, Thornwood High School. Got good strength, good rebound. Seems to be more of a dunker. No abilities though. I think this Eddie Curry guy would be a good signing. Curry's tasty. Yeah, we're gonna take him. Two years is good initial contract, I think. Okay. Sean Leonard. Pretty good three-point range. There was another guy above him. Anthony Hardaway. 11 years out of Memphis. Got good stealing. Excellent passing. Good ball handling. Good free throw. Good matchup. No abilities, but that's okay. He played a couple seasons in Phoenix, and last season was in Boston. This guy looks like a good bench guy, I think. Curry's tasty. Okay, like yellow or orange. Yeah. The food, you mean? I don't know that much about Curry actually. I'm pretty sure I've had different kinds. I don't know the differences. So Hardaway would be a replacement for primarily Carter, but could also play Isley's position. Let's see if there's not a point guard. Fortunately, there's not. So I think we'll just take Mr. Hardaway here. We do only have 70 points available. So we're gonna get rid of Jeff Williams, I think. Get rid of Mr. Williams. Let's take a look at his profile first. Good speed, good jumping. Toughness and intimidator. Only 2 years. I don't know, maybe he might be good in a couple years. Isley needs help at point guard for sure. Maybe point guard trade down the road. Possibly so. Kind of want to get rid of. I mean, this was the draft pick, but there's really nothing that really stands out about him right now. He's got body control, which I guess is A+, but already have Curry, who's better than him, and I also have Pfizer. So I think I need to give someone up because Hardaway costs 80 points. Only have 70 available. Honestly, I have so many of these point forwards, whatever these are called, PFs. I honestly don't need Walker. So I'll get rid of him and then get Hardaway. Okay. Dallas has asked for a trade. Never had an AI ask for a trade. This should be interesting. Dale Nash for Hardaway. This is the guy they want to give me. Quickness seems to be okay. Good concentration and good shooting rhythm. Let's see what that means again. Let's see. Good concentration and shooting rhythm is plays well even when tightly covered. And concentration focuses on own play regardless of others. I don't think I want that guy. Vince will be on the court most of the time. I mean, I guess that's true. Hardaway has really good passing and free throwing and ball handling and stealing. Good matchup too. Two years only in the league. And that is true. This guy is taken 11 years to get to 70. Mr. Nash, 2 years, and he's already at 69. Oh, this is wrong Nash. But his stats are a lot less impressive, his abilities. But he does have player skills. Nash does have a higher ceiling. But I think Hardaway, if he plays at all, would be able to make a much higher impact, considering he's got some ratings in the 70s, or in the 80s, and some in the 90s. I think just because of the individual skills, I'm going to have to decline that trade. Let's see if anyone has fallen into free agency. Doesn't look like it. I feel like I could probably get something for Jerome Williams and Mr. Lewis here. Decent trade from the CPU. Yeah, I appreciate the CPU making trades. I definitely want that kind of stuff to be in my game. I'm kind of curious if I can get something for Lewis and Jerome. Maybe I can get a... Let's see. Got a center, we got... Let's see. Maybe a forward? Or a point guard, actually. Heck, maybe I can get something for Jeff as well. Maybe get point guard. Maybe you get 3 players for a decent point guard. If it had one more 80, it would be a playoff team. Possibly. Might need some luck too. I think I might shop this around. Let's see. Let's see. Point guard, 79. Seven years, not bad for 79. Good speed, good quickness, excellent stealing, excellent ball handling, good matchup, good passing. His 2 and 3 point shots are a little bit low, a little weak, but it's okay. He is injury prone. Doesn't look like he played very much though, or at least didn't score a whole bunch of points. Maybe he's more of a, not really one of the scoring players. But at 79, I mean, he could be a good option. Good team guy. Yeah, that's true. Just because you don't score a lot of points doesn't mean you don't, contribute a lot to the team. There's a lot of defense that needs to be doing. A lot of defense that needs doing. Let's see if they'll take that. Probably not, but yeah. Okay. Let's try someone else then. So maybe I can get, definitely not Jason Kidd, like a 75-ish. Definitely not that guy. Antonio Daniels, 7 years. Good three-point shots. Pretty good passing, ball handling. Matchup seems decent. Burst recovery, which is speed burst meter recovers quickly, so assuming he's fairly quick, which he's not. He can move above his speed. He can sprint fairly consistently. And he can make some three-pointers. That might... Seems like a lot for a 72, but I don't know. Not sure. I think I would prefer more of a 75. Although at 72 he would probably get to a 75 in a season. Let's try it. And it's a big no. Okay, so I don't think... Alright, we'll try one more thing. I think the Nash trade was better. Jerome Williams has been here since the beginning. So let's see. I guess it would help if I didn't pick one of their starters. Bobby Jackson. Good passing, good stealing. I want to see more stealing, so that'd be very helpful. Good three-point shots, serviceable two-pointers. We'll try Bobby Jackson. Okay, so Sacramento accepts that trade. So actually, we actually got someone who's better than Howard Isley. But it's still good. I mean, good to have good players. We'll leave Howard Isley as a starter and then have Jackson go in and out. The bench seems to be a lot stronger now, I think. Yeah, team got better. The offense is a slightly lower overall rating. But the defense is higher and the team is higher overall. The team overall was a 70 at the end of last season. Now it's at a 76, so it should be helpful. Okay. A few weeks have gone by, so let's see if there's any goodies in free agency. Doesn't look like it. Okay. That's the end of the off season right there. Any last entries? Some high 60s, but we don't need those anymore. Good trade, yeah. Start Jackson, a good player in Sacramento. Should I start him? Bobby was a good player in Sacramento. I guess I probably should. He is better. Howard Isley's got 10 years of experience. Stealing of 70. What about Jackson? Yeah, 88 stealing. Definitely a starter. And we got Scottie Pippen. Who is this guy? Oh yeah, Eddie Curry. As our backup center, I got Hardaway. In case Carter ever decides to get tired. And Isley. Still got Q Richardson. Okay. So I would say that's a fairly successful off-season. Again, unless you're high up in the draft, you're not going to get a whole lot in this game. Unless you just get lucky and there's a lot of 70-plus players, you're looking at a bunch of projects and backups for the most part in the draft. It's really in trading and free agency that you can get some of your best players. Isley will still be needed, and we'll respect the 1-2. Oh, we respect the 1-2 punch. Oh yeah, it's good. Definitely good to have good backups. That way, your overall skill level on the court doesn't fall too much when you start substituting. So, but I think that's gonna do it for me. We had a successful off season, and definitely still gonna play seasons for this game. I do like this game a lot. But I might also start up another franchise mode or continue one that I've started in the past. But again, definitely going to play this game a lot still. So I am interested to see how my team, how the Raptors end up this season. Now that they're at a 76 overall, which is definitely better than last season. Hopefully it's like an incremental thing. First season, pretty poor. Last season, almost got to 500 and had a good stretch in the middle. Just kind of fell apart there at the end. So this season, we're going to see if we can really progress. And maybe we don't make the playoffs, but hopefully we can finish over 500. So that's good for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, Patrick, G-Mafia, for being in the chat. Always appreciate people in the chat and anyone else who has been watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will be seeing you guys in the next one.